Just when is the cryptocurrency bull market going to come to a screeching halt? How the heck are you going to know? What do you need to do when it happens? And how bad is the bear market going to be? In today's video, I will try to answer all of those questions for you. My name's Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing, so if that's a topic you would like to learn some more about, make sure you subscribe to the Lark Davis channel, gently tap on the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, and click on the notification bell down below so that you know when I put out a new video. By the way, every single week my team and I produce Wealth Mastery. This is a cryptocurrency investor report. Every single issue is just jam-packed full of value. Top tier technical analysis, step-by-step DeFi tutorial, deep dive altcoin report on a hot altcoin, do trending coin analysis, my portfolio updates, airdrops, token sales, and much, much more. All for less than $10 a week. Click on the link down below in the description. You can learn more about becoming a member to Wealth Mastery today. Now let's go ahead and dive into this topic. And we have to be very clear to start with. Nobody knows. Nobody knows exactly when the top will be. Everyone's got predictions. Everyone has opinions. But nothing is for certain. No one's going to say it's this day, this hour, this is exactly when you need to sell to get the maximum profits. But we do have models that we can work on that give us an indication of when we are most likely, based on previous cycles playing out, to see such a situation happen. So I posted this back in January. This shows us with basically the market coming to a high end of the year, or if we have a lengthening cycle, into the start of Q1 next year. So that gets us up to a Bitcoin, $150,000 to $200,000 Bitcoin by the end of December, or sometime in Q1, which, a 3 or 4 month period may not sound very exact, but it's a range. It's a range based on previous cycles. The idea that cycles are getting longer. We saw the first cycle coming in at 54 weeks, the second cycle coming in at 75 weeks. Maybe this one comes in at 100 weeks, which would bring us into early 2022 there. Maybe December is just the magical month for bull runs. We saw Bitcoin top out December 2013, Bitcoin top out December 2017. Maybe we see Bitcoin top out December 2021. Also possible. So we're just looking at this range here in particular. Now, Benjamin Cohen, he's also shared his thoughts on basically a lengthening market cycle. So either we're looking at a situation right now where this is the shortest bull market cycle with the lowest ROI percentage, or we're looking at a double bubble situation. We still have higher to go for the price, and it will take longer to get there, which again would move us forward in that situation where we're looking at potentially Q1 2022 for the blow-off top for the market. But regardless of when exactly this actually comes, here's something you need to know. The next few months are going to be insane for the cryptocurrency markets. This run-up phase, and particularly the blow-off top phase, whenever it does come, it's nuts. It's totally nuts. If you haven't experienced it before, it's beyond what you can probably imagine. Altcoins are going to be going up by thousands of percent in like a month's period. It'll be totally crazy. And then one day, very, very suddenly, the music just stops. And gnashing of teeth and pulling of hair begin, and it's pretty crazy pretty quickly to the downside. But how can we spot that top phase where we have the maximum financial opportunity to sell? Well, there are some indicators that help us to find that area. So we have the 2-year moving average multiplier. So every bull run so far has finished above the red line here. So selling anywhere above the red line, particularly, it seems to be 3 to 4 weeks after we initially cross over that red line, has been the opportune time to be selling. That was when you get the optimal returns, the highest amount of gains coming in. Selling any time before that, you missed out on this blow off top period that happened here and here and here and here and has not yet happened here. So that is what we are looking for to happen next. The next tool we can take a look at here is the Puell multiple. This is another great indicator that has pretty accurately shown all previous cycle tops. They were marked by a spike into the red box, as you can see here and here and here and back here as well. Of course, this one actually went up over the red box. Now, this period of the Puell multiple basically showing a sell signal tended to last for a few weeks. Selling any time during that period was a period of heightened financial gains. Max gains came within that period. Now, maybe you sold as soon as it crossed over the line and you missed out on the final blow off top. Well, you still probably made truckloads of money, but you do want to wait for a blow off moment to come to again try to capitalize on maximum potential gains. By the way, look into bitcoin.com. It's got a lot of great indicators just like this. I'm just cherry picking a few out, but there's actually more if you want to go in and dive into some of the other charts as well that would show a potential market top scenario. These are just some of the ones that I like. Here we can see also the Bitcoin rainbow log chart. This never once during all this craziness got into a sell zone. The highest we got was into FOMO intensifies, and that was just a brief time there. We never got to sell, and we never got to maximum bubble territory. Now, a sell sign, a maximum bubble territory sign, would have been Bitcoin getting up over $100,000 back in April, which obviously didn't happen. So now we're back rebuilding, getting ready for the next big move upwards. When we get up here, and if we're looking at that, let's say end of December, sometime in January or February, we're looking at Bitcoin getting up, based on the log charts, Bitcoin getting up to about $180,000 to $190,000, which could mark the top before, of course, that hits that maximum bubble territory. We see a price correction coming in. The next one here is the net unrealized profit loss chart. Another great indicator for the markets. So all of the previous tops in Bitcoin, which of course is the weather bell for the wider cryptocurrency markets. Bitcoin is still the tip of the spear. It's still the king of the markets. Every single market top for Bitcoin, which of course drew in the market top for the rest of the cryptocurrency market, was marked by a euphoria reading. So you can see here, this red line on the chart here, we got euphoria readings here and here and here. Very small one here, but we did indeed get those euphoria readings for a few days. So it was, again, an accurate indicator that showed that it was time to take some damn profits. We never reached it here, and we are now, of course, back into the greed zone, but we have not yet hit a euphoria zone. So that would be another area, again, to watch for when it comes to wanting to find, hey, are the indicators showing it's time to sell or not? Now, this particular indicator tends to be much shorter than the other ones. The other ones give you a sort of few weeks, like, hey, we're in that zone now. This tends to be a few days up there, and then it's okay. That's over. Hope you sold. So that's something for you to keep an eye on there. And I guess just that speaks to general sentiment. It's tough to gauge, I guess, at this point, because so many people have been making such redonkulous amounts of money in crypto. But sentiment-wise, when we are reaching those blow-off top scenarios, the big bubble top areas, the times when the market's just too greedy, it's too overheated, this is when you go to social media and everybody's just basically talking about how hilariously rich they have become by investing in cryptocurrencies. They're posting pictures of new cars, they're posting pictures of watches, first-class flights, pouring champagne out, all this crazy stuff. People out there saying it's only going to go up forever. This is when your school friends, those people you haven't talked to in 5, 10, 20 years, they're messaging you and say, hey man, I saw you mention something about Facebook about Bitcoin. Can you tell me more? Is it a good time to buy Dogecoin? Should I go all in on XRP right now? Those times, sentiment-wise, mass media hysteria, mass media attention tend to indicate that we're hit that euphoric bubble territory phase, the I'm a genius phase, when everyone wants to go long at the top. That is when smart money is taking profits. Not so smart money is buying their bags. Again, people making so much money in crypto, it's not a perfect metric, but something for you to think about regardless. And look, that's some common indicators that we can use to spot that blow off top for the crypto market when it does eventually come. But here's the deal you have to understand about the markets. We will have another major bear cycle at some point. What you saw back in May, that was fun. May and June, those were fun months, weren't they? We had a good time. Nice time to accumulate. But that was child's play compared to what is possible in the markets. I mean, imagine if that had gone on for another 6 months or a year. How much despair would there have been? We recovered pretty damn quickly, which was nice. That was a short bear trend. We've not yet hit a major bear cycle, but another major bear cycle will come. They always do in markets. If you think that's never going to happen in markets or the number's only ever going to go up, I would suggest you learn some more about markets because that's not how they work. Now, look, I want to be clear too. I think that the next bear cycle for crypto, it's not going to be a repeat of the 2014 bear market or of the 2018 bear market. Those were different beasts. I think the crypto market at this point has evolved into something very, very different to what it was 4 years ago. I mean, I look back on what crypto was 4 years ago. We are in a completely different situation right now. We've matured so much. And it reminds me, of course, of tech stocks. Go back and look at the charts of tech stocks. It's very, very telling of what I believe is happening with the cryptocurrency markets. So let's take a look at Apple today. I usually bring up Amazon. We'll take a look at Apple. You can go back and back test this with most tech stocks that survived the .com bust. What happened in the early days? Crazy freaking volatility. Look at this. Apple down 77%. Apple down 82%. Back when Apple stocks, you get them for, what was it, 7 cents? That was crazy. Why wasn't I paying attention to stock? I was a teenager, that's why. And I was getting high. That's why I wasn't paying attention to buying stocks, but man, I should have. Holy cow. Anyway, besides the point. Look here, 82% drawdown. Massive volatility in the early days of tech stocks because people couldn't properly value them. People didn't properly understand them. They didn't have the massive user effect, the network effects yet. But what happened as time went on? Those market corrections became less and less severe. So we saw Apple, lots of major corrective periods, months of downtrends, followed by massive move up. Essentially, if you look at most tech stocks since the early 2000s, has basically been up only if you kind of zoom out to the monthly charts here. But you have, of course, within those had some pretty brutal periods. But even then, these insane corrections that have come into stock markets for the big tech stocks, it's nowhere near like it used to be. Amazon had like a 95% drawdown in the early 2000s. Apple had an 82% drawdown. Now, what do we get? 60% was pretty dramatic. That was the 2008 financial crisis. 62% drawdown in that situation. Since then, we've had a 46, a 33, a 40% drawdown. This is kind of the new norm. Volatility is reducing on these tech stocks. The more users come in, the more adoption happens, the wider the base of owners of those stocks as well become. I see the same thing happening with the cryptocurrency markets. Institutional money's here. Institutional money is changing the game. They have different time frames. They have different risk appetites. These guys are doing land grabs. They're not doing overnight flips and speculations. They're out there buying huge amounts of cryptocurrencies to corner the freaking market. They're holding on to that stuff 10, 20 years. They're taking longer term time frames here. We see companies diversifying away from cash into crypto because fiat's a freaking mess right now. Decentralized finance. If you weren't here back in 2017, 2018, we didn't have decentralized finance stuff, man. This is all new. All this money that's on chain right now, it's largely going to stay on chain. Why cash out? Where are you going to go? Are you going to go put your money back in the bank account where it earns negative interest rates, or 0.01%, which is the current interest rates of a Chase Bank savings account? 0.01%. Come on, man. You get 19.5% in Anchor Protocol right now. 0.01%. That's a joke. That's a joke. We have NFTs. You think collectibles are just going to go out of fashion overnight? No. We're going to have corrections within that market. We'll have massive drawdowns in that market. We'll have whole sets that go to zero. But the good NFTs, the big stuff, the sports collectibles, the stuff coming out from like Marvel and Disney and all these massive brands, that stuff's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Gaming, we have crypto games that are outperforming by revenue some of the world's biggest AAA games right now. Those games are looking, seeing what's happening. They're all going to develop a crypto strategy. They're all going to release a crypto strategy. It brings all these users, all this money, all this craziness into the cryptocurrency markets. More money will stay in the markets longer because there's more to do. There's more value. The rails, the infrastructure, it's all so much bigger compared to previous cycles. You just don't need to cash out anymore. You can stay in and keep doing stuff. People move into stable coins and popping into DeFi, and it brings the floor up dramatically. Our super cycle theories, I think, are still in play, but that does not mean we're not going to have a major bear cycle within that. You could have the 2020s be an insane boom period and still have a 6-month or a year-long, for example, bear trend. Now that bear trend, I think, is going to be much shorter. It's not going to be as long as what we saw previously. I could be wrong. The 4-year cycle Bitcoin theory could remain the most factual, dependable thing in the market. The super cycle theory may not hold any water in the long run, but I think it will. I think because of what's going on, because of the expansion beyond Bitcoin, we are going to see this playing out more and more. And of course, central bank insanity continues. Fiat's being devalued, inflation's going insane. Everybody's paying attention to crypto now. But you always do need to remember, the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. So when we do have our bear period come at some point in the future, make sure you've taken some damn profits, man. Make sure you've taken some profits. Look, all this stuff being said, I just want you to realize I'm a long-term investor in crypto. Right? So even when our next bear phase comes, I might take a little more time off work. But besides that, I'm not going to disappear. I'm not going to sell all my cryptocurrencies. I mean, if you are, exiting and never coming back, you're basically saying that you want to fade Metcalfe's law. You think that the expansion of crypto market user base is not going to drive up the market cap of all these assets dramatically over the next 10 years. Because right now, we have about 300 million crypto users in total. By 2024, that's going to be 1 billion. By the end of the decade, we're looking at potentially a situation where almost everybody with a mobile phone, half the world's population, has access to cryptos and is using cryptos. They're playing games where they get free NFTs and free tokens. They're sending stablecoin transactions. They're lending in lending protocols. They're buying Bitcoin as a savings account, etc., etc., etc. You're really going to tell me that when we 10x the user base from 300 million to 3 billion, that's not going to drive the prices up by hundreds of X's for so much stuff? This is the biggest financial opportunity of your lifetime. When we do have our bull market eventually come to its blow off top, you have to remember that you need to zoom out here. This is only part of the life cycle of investments. Bear markets are for accumulating. Bear markets are for buying the dips. Look back to 2018 even, or 2017. Even if you had bought the top back in 2017, if you'd gone all in on the top, you would still be up dramatically on some, of course, of your cryptocurrency investments. Maybe not all of them, but if you'd gone all in on Ethereum, you'd be up 3 or 4x right now. If you'd gone all in on Bitcoin, you'd be up over 100% right now. If you'd gone all in on, Chainlink, you'd be up a few thousand%. If you'd gone all in on a lot of coins, you would have done very, very well. Obviously, a lot of altcoins did fail, though, which is why you need to take profits. You need to take profits at some point. A lot of these altcoins are highly speculative. I think that people see these tokens, and just because they're trading on the market, you think they're legitimate. Many of them are going to get crushed long term. Some of them because they exit scam, some of them because they fail to deliver technology, some of them because they fail to get users, some of them because they just suck. That happens. It happens. And look, you have to remember, you don't need to perfectly sell the top. You can ladder out as things go up. It takes a lot of stress out. Once you get your capital out, you've already cashed out some profits, you have a big moon bag sitting there, you look at your crypto portfolio in a completely different way. But if you want to make profits in this market, then you need to click on the sell button at some point. And that doesn't mean you have to go back completely to fiat and put it all in your bank account. As just said, you can stay in the market. Keep some moon bags if you want, but you got to take some profits on some of those. Put some profits into Bitcoin, right? Everybody should be trying to get that one Bitcoin. Put some money into stable coins. Throw it into a yield farm. Roll out the bear trends when they come. Have an escape plan ready for when the market turns, because we will get a blow off at some point. The market will turn after, and a lot of people are going to be caught with their pants down. Don't let that be you. Long story short. Anyway, just my 2 Satoshis on when we could see a market blow off, how we're going to know when that happens, and what it will look like next. Your question for today: when do you think we are going to get a market top for this cycle? It's going to be December, January, March, April. Let me know down below in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.